My name is SHEDDYJOE Nana, but you can call me SHEDDYJOE the Entertainer. I am the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo, CFR, on events and protocol. I handle events, corporate events, any kind of event. I'm a comedian. I can give you anything you want as far as event is concerned. I do all sorts of things to make sure that there is no dull moment in any event you call me to anchor. Well, as an MC, you have to do what we call in public speaking, audience perception. What keeps me going is that when I see an audience, I know what to tell them. It's not what you do when you see a particular audience, you do when you see another. For instance, if you're anchoring an event where you find corporate people, it is a different thing altogether. If you find yourself where you see children, it's a different thing altogether. You tell them what suits children. You see women, you see people from different walks of life. It is a total different thing that you do. So what keeps me going is that I find joy doing this business. I find it entertaining. I find it rewarding because I must tell you, there is money in doing MC, being an MC. But you have to really, know your onions, know what you're doing so that that money can trickle in and then find happiness in what you're doing. A lot of challenge. I can say as somebody who has been doing this for decades now, I don't panic anymore. But as somebody who is starting or somebody who is just, barely managing to stay in the business, sometimes you could get fidgety. You could have stage fright. But for me, what you do is look at your audience and see them as yourself. See them as if there is nobody there. But for me, there is a lot of fun in being an MC. Oh, wow. It's been long. It's been very, very long. I could remember that the first MC that I did that I was paid, if you're talking about as in the professionally, was in my secondary school. They were having a children's party inside my school. And I was called. They said, yeah, Shedrack. It was those days way back in the 90s in Amobia, Boys High School, Amobia. They called me and said, see, every time you're making people laugh, come and talk. Come and use this microphone. Come and talk. Like play, like joke, like play. Oh boy, now I carry microphone, phone, grab them, talk. People were laughing. People were happy. Since that day, I never stopped. Okay. I will never forget in 2012 in Tel Aviv, Israel, where we went for pilgrimage. I went with Anambra State contingent, like every other person who came for that pilgrimage. I got there, and at the end of the day, they called me and said, somebody told them that I'm a very good MC, that I should be the MC for the entire Nigerian contingent that came for that year. I handled the microphone. It was a different kind of MCing. I held people spellbound. I was doing my thing. I didn't know I was making sense until after the event. The owner of the tour agency that handled the event or that, brought the event together called me and said, you've done so well. Do you know that people spent their money in Israel? But I went back to Nigeria, or I came back to Nigeria with a lot of money. I will never forget that incident. It was one kind of MC that I did with a lot of poise, a lot of professionalism that I didn't even know that I brought into the game until after the event. It was rewarding, it was entertaining, and it was something that I hold dear to myself. All right, if you want to be an MC, like myself, like SHEDDYJOE the entertainer, I know a lot of people know me in government circle, in private circle. I was in Lagos for a very long time. People like Basoj Taria Jr., who was my mentor, my Oga, then in Lagos. Bros, I no go forget you. Now you put me for this thing, what they do now, what they do well. People are now seeing me, applauding me, but they won't know how far I've come. So, ladies and gentlemen, being an MC is a good thing, but make sure you know what you're doing to give your best to your audience. Thank you and God bless you. People, my name is SHEDDYJOE the entertainer. You can meet me on all social media platforms. If you want to make bookings or if you want to get to know me more, go there. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, name them, all the social media platforms. SHEDDYJOE the entertainer is there waiting for you. Because of you.